An investigation by Virginia's AG, Jason Miyares, found Roanoke College violating state and federal civil rights laws after a biological male swimmer competed on the women's team in 2023.
Men and women competitive sports are separated for a reason. Males who have undergone puberty have a significant, undeniable athletic advantage over females that no intervention can undo. The women's swim team endured, and is still enduring, emotional, physical, and dignitary harm because of Roanoke College's failure to follow the law.
So the college is denying those allegations and claims that its policy was actually stricter than the NCAA rules. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin on X agreeing with his AG, writing this: men should not be competing in women's sports. Thank you, Attorney General Miyares, for standing up for common sense and the law. Women and girls have the clear civil right to equal treatment under the law and fair treatment in competition. Roanoke College violated those rights for these brave young women, and our Attorney General is holding them accountable. Clay Travis, founder of OutKick, with us now to get into this. Clay, you know, you've got a legal mind here. Was this just a foregone conclusion that this is what it was going to come to, that, you know, girls were going to just have to go to the courts and file suit?
Crazily, yes, Aisha, thanks for having me on. I can't believe that we have reached this point. Attorney General Jason Miyares is correct here, so is Glenn Youngkin. And ultimately, I believe in October, the Supreme Court is going to hear a challenge on whether this can even be allowed, essentially, because the Trump administration, to their credit, has stepped in and said, this is bonkers, let's solve it. And I think based on the decision that the Supreme Court rendered in Skermeti, which was the Attorney General of Tennessee's case about whether or not kids under 18 could receive so-called gender care, which would potentially render them sterile and allow them to be getting the gender reassignment type surgeries. Given the fact the Supreme Court said that is a permissible decision by the state of Tennessee, I think they are going to say that men should not be able to compete in women's sports when this ruling eventually comes down. Now, Aisha, here's the question. Will Democrats then say, okay, this is over, we've once and for all decided it, we disagree with the Supreme Court decision, but we're going to comply, or are they going to double, triple, quadruple down on crazy? I think that's why this is going to be an issue in next year's midterms and potentially, wildly, still by 2028.
I think it's a major development that these students can now seek, you know, emotional damages, because that's the part of the story that never really gets talked about. And one of the girls at Roanoke, I'm just going to read a little bit from this quote here because it really touched me. She said, what followed after her fight with the school was a growing ordeal that took a tremendous toll on my mental health, my physical well-being, and my emotional strength. My teammates and I faced anxieties, sleepless nights, and a sense of defeat and abandonment. And we're talking about kids here. You know, they're over the age of 18, but they're still kids. And this is not a fight that they should be having to be a part of. I want to quickly switch to this because we might be going to the White House here quickly for this cabinet meeting. But critics just haven't been happy, as you know, Clay, with Cracker Barrel's apology for its controversial rebrand. The company posted this: while our logo remodel may be making headlines, our bigger focus is still where it belongs, in the kitchen and on your plate. And it's caused a flurry of responses online. One user saying eating Sunday supper in a place that looks like a car dealership does not say vintage Americana. Another says the biggest insult to your customers is acting like you hear them, but doing the complete opposite. And so you're just doubling down on this nonsense. That worked out great for Bud Light. Fox also asked about it down in Florida. Listen.
Not a big fan.
No, I think they should stick with tradition.
I get it, trying to modernize to the new 2025 world, but it does do away with some of the old schoolness that everybody was used to going to them.
I'll rant and rave and cuss about it a little bit, but I'll probably still be back there eating.
The logo is fine. Why are they reinventing the wheel?
So Cracker Barrel hosted a cringy pop-up event in New York City days after the $700 million rebrand. Not a lot of people were there. And then President Trump is jumping into this, Clay. He wrote this: Cracker Barrel should go back to the old logo, admit a mistake based on customer response, the ultimate poll, and manage the company better than ever before. They got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they play their cards right. Is there time, though, to turn this around? I mean, they came out and they said, yeah, we messed up the rollout. We should have made this, easier to understand. But they're not saying they did anything wrong.
They should. I got a couple of steps for them, Aisha. They're from Lebanon, Tennessee, just right up the street here from where I live. They should fire the entire marketing agency that made this decision, and the CEO should come out and publicly apologize direct to everybody. She probably should come on Fox News. And here's the problem they have, Aisha. It's very much like Bud Light. They have a certain audience. It is people that want to have Grandma's Kitchen in the South evoked in some way. That is their market. They decided they didn't like that market. They turned their back on the people that made this a multi-billion-dollar corporation that have made it successful, and they're going after an audience in the meatpacking district of New York City that's never going to eat there. This is why people are so upset. They are turning their back on the people who made the brand worth $1 billion, and they're reaching their hand out for people that don't like them already. It is a disastrous marketing campaign. And Aisha, this is what happens when you hire people in New York City and LA that have never eaten in your restaurant and tell them how to fix your brand. They destroy it.
There's so many brunch places. I mean, I'm thinking of like First Watch. There's so many places you can go to if you wanted that. If you wanted that modern appeal.
Yes.
But that was the charm of Cracker Barrel. Nobody else was like it.
That's right.
Clay.
That's exactly right.
Thanks for joining us, and maybe we can get some biscuits later and talk it over.
Amen. I'm sold. Thank you.
All right.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.